Furheen is having some technical issues right now, so I'll continue for the session for now. Basically, I'll be teaching Adobe Illustrator to you guys. Uh, Adobe Illustrator is basically a vector-based software, and by vector I mean like you. As we go further, I'll explain what vectors are. So basically, whenever you open up Adobe Illustrator, uh, you have these options right here. Wait. uh, So basically, you have these options right here. There are options. This right here is for basically if you're creating a poster for Instagram or Facebook, the size you have to use for them is 1080 by 1080 pixels. So you can choose the site by typing here. Like you have to choose, there are different options right here: points, inches, millimeters, centimeters, pixels. It depends. And if you want to do an A4 size, they've already given you an option for that. Illustrator. If you want to do it in millimeters or inches, you have the option. And if you want to choose the orientation of the page, like if you want to be vertical, and if you want to do it horizontal, then there are two options, so you can choose from them. And um, basically, when you start up Illustrator, the basic things you want to know is like the so firstly, there's this selection tool which can be selected by using, if you press the letter V on your keyboard, this tool gets selected. This is for basic stuff, like if you want to choose something, like for example, if I drag this random picture here, um, I drag this random picture here, right? So if you need to move the picture around, if you need to uh, reduce the size of the picture or something like that, you have uh, that's what this selection tool is used for. If you want to reduce the size of the picture, you have to go to the end. You have to first select it, of course, and then you have to go to the corner of the picture, and you have to go to the corner of the picture, and you have to drag it in any way you want. But if you want it to be in the same size, like uh, uh, if I do this, the picture gets reduced in a different way. So if you want to keep it in the same size, you have to press shift alongside, and then you if you reduce the size, the size of the picture doesn't get damaged. uh, Basically, then there's this direct selection tool. This is basically used for vectors and stuff. For example, if I drag this, let's take this picture. You'll know more about this tool as you go on, as you go forward, but I'm just giving you a small example of how it is. Basically, the direct selection tool is used for stuff um, like if you want to drag something if you want to delete something, or maybe reduce the size of something which which the selection tool doesn't let you, so then you choose the direct selection tool. It isn't but like if you go for if you're on a basic level, you there's no need for it. So um there's this then there's the rectangle. There's the shapes tool. If you hold a button for this, then you get these options that if you want to create an ellipse, a rectangle, a polygon, a star, a simple line, um, it can be easily made. But like if you want to create a square, you have to hold shift. Like if you want to use if you want to create a square, then you have to hold shift. If you want to create a normal rectangle in the size, then you can freely use it any way you want. And like if you want to draw a line vagera, so like you can hold when you hold this option right here, you get these different options for creating different shapes. So then there's a paintbrush tool, which like is in it isn't useful, but like for vectors and stuff. But you want to cover something up, or like maybe draw, like if you want to, I don't know, maybe want to color something, or something like that. So that's what it's used for. Like if you hold it, then then you also get different options for using a pencil, a block, brush tool, etc. So then below it is the text box option. So basically, this is just used for text right here, and um, we'll tell you how to use it in another session. The, the text, how to use fonts, etc. That's for another session. So basically, the this is the eraser tool. Um, Let me just drag a picture here. Um, Basically, if you so basically, the eraser tool is used for different stuff. Like if you want to erase a picture or something like that. Um, so we'll explain you these tools in much detail in a later session. For now, I can tell you what basically illustration is, and what you can make using Adobe Illustrator. I can show you some of my work. Um, like I made these using Adobe Illustrator. Um, Let me just show you them. So basically, I made all these using Adobe Illustrator. So only Adobe Illustrator. Basically, this is like I made this. You can draw stuff. You can basically take pictures from the internet and convert them into vectors, which is like really easy to do. We'll explain it more in after sessions. So like if you so basically Illustrator shows you uh, helps. Oh, sorry, my internet got disconnected. So basically, Adobe Illustrator is a vector-based software which like vectors are basically you can download them off the internet. Okay, so for example, if there's this website called, you can note it down if you want to, um, Vect Easy. So like if you want to use um, like if you want to do make something using a camera or something like that. Yeah, okay.
हमजा आप इसकी विंडो पे आ सकते हो प्लीज, मेन विंडो पे इलस्ट्रेटर की.
अच्छा.
Hi guys, this is Ahmad Iftikhar. I'm a professional graphic designer. I'll explain the intro of Illustrator and Photoshop so you can know the difference between Photoshop and Illustrator. So basically, Illustrator is a vector base and Photoshop is a pixel base. Illustrator पे आप जब करते हैं तो वो आप website base, logo base, anything you can design on Illustrator. Illustrator पे आप देखेंगे कि firstly ऊपर जहाँ आप right corner पर search bar है उसके बिल्कुल साथ है typography. Hamza, can you click on that? Yes. इसमें essentials classic. Hamza, can you go with it? हाँ. Layout painting. जब आप वेब पे काम करेंगे आप इसकी वेब के लेआउट पर जा सकते हैं. आप इसको अपने हिसाब से लेआउट डिसाइड कर सकते हैं जिसमें आप स्पैचेस, कलर्स, ब्रशेस, लेयर्स सब आप ओपन कर सकते हैं, लेकिन वो लेआउट आपको अपने हिसाब से सेट करनी पड़ती है. हम स्टार्ट करेंगे एसेंशियल से. हमजा, कैन यू ऑन एसेंशियल्स? यस. ओके गाइस, सो वी हैव प्रॉपर्टीज, लेयर्स एंड लाइब्रेरीज. सो हम इलस्ट्रेटर पर आर्टबोर्ड बना सकते हैं एक से बहुत ज़्यादा, 100. Like you can design a magazine, layout, anything on Illustrator. आप Photoshop पर सिर्फ एक आर्टबोर्ड बना सकते हैं, Illustrator पर आप जितने मर्जी आर्टबोर्ड बना सकते हैं. जब आप आर्टबोर्ड बनाएंगे Photoshop पर, आप आर्टबोर्ड से बाहर कुछ भी करेंगे वो आपके डिज़ाइन का पार्ट नहीं होगा. लेकिन जब आप Illustrator पर कर रहे हैं आप आर्टबोर्ड से बाहर काम कर सकते हैं, लेकिन जब आप उसको फाइनल अपना एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे डिज़ाइन एज अ JPEG, एज अ PDF और एनी सोर्स फाइल, आपका आर्टबोर्ड के अंदर जो डिज़ाइन है वही आपको एंड रिजल्ट में मिलेगा. इस तरह हमारे पास जो अभी टूल बार है उसके अंदर हमारे पास फर्स्ट आता है सिलेक्शन टूल, जो आप बेसिकली आपने हर जगह किसी भी चीज़ को आपने सेलेक्ट करना है आप वो सिलेक्शन टूल यूज़ करेंगे. उसके बिल्कुल नीचे जो सा टूल है वो टूल होता है जब हम किसी शेप को बनाते हैं पेन टूल से या रेक्टेंगुलर टूल से या किसी भी शेप टूल से, तो आप वो वाला टूल यूज़ करके आप उसके एंकर पॉइंट्स चेंज कर सकते हैं. I'll explain the anchor points later. बस I'm telling you the points. ठीक है. नीचे पेन टूल है. पेन टूल से you can make any shape or you can create boundaries or outlines or strokes, anything. उसके नीचे आता है आपका शेप टूल. इसमें लाइन है, इसमें रेक्टेंगुलर है, इसमें ओवल है, इसमें सर्कल है, इसमें आप किसी भी तरह की शेप क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमजा, कैन यू क्रिएट अ रेक्टेंगल?
A square or rectangle?
Square or rectangle, anything. Yes. हमजा, आप सिलेक्शन टूल सेलेक्ट करेंगे?
Selection tool.
यस. अब इस टूल से आप इसको मूव कर सकते हैं. आप इसको कॉर्नर्स पर जाकर इसको आप कम करें, बढ़ाएं. आप इसके अलावा आप ट्रांसफॉर्मर देखेंगे. हमजा, सिलेक्शन टूल दोबारा सेलेक्ट करोगे प्लीज?
Selection tool ही हुआ.
यस. आप देखेंगे ट्रांसफॉर्म में आपके पास इंचेस की ऑप्शन आ रही है. जब आप इस रेक्टेंगुलर के अलावा नीचे अपने आर्टबोर्ड के पास क्लिक करेंगे, हमजा बाहर क्लिक कीजिएगा प्लीज. यस, यू हैव ऑप्शंस फॉर यूनिट्स. हमजा, यूनिट्स पे जाएं.
Units.
यस, यहाँ क्लिक करें. यू हैव ऑप्शंस फॉर पॉइंट्स, पिक्सेल्स, इंचेस, मिलीमीटर्स, सेंटीमीटर्स एंड पिक्सेल्स. ये जब आपको डिजाइन कर रहे हैं, आपके क्लाइंट की जो रिक्वायरमेंट है, ये आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट है कि आपको सेंटीमीटर शूट करता है, इंचेस शूट करता है, मिलीमीटर शूट करता है, या पिक्सल शूट करता है। पिक्सल्स बेसिकली हम तब यूज करेंगे जब हम वेबसाइट पर कोई काम कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज वहां पर आपका इंचेस और मिलीमीटर्स वो आपकी वेबसाइट लोडिंग में थोड़ा टाइम लेगा, हम उसको पिक्सल्स में यूज करेंगे। अभी हम फॉर एग्जाम्पल इंचेस में यूज करते हैं। हमजा, ये जो आपने रेक्टेंगुलर बनाया इसको क्लिक कीजिए। यस, इट्स
So,
ऑफ 9 by something, 9 by 4।
um,
9.9, इसको आप करें हमजा 10 by 10, so we can get a square। आप सब इसकी डायमेंशंस यहाँ से भी चेंज कर सकते हैं, और इवन हमजा इसके आप कॉर्नर पे जाएंगे अब, अपने स्क्वायर के कॉर्नर पर। यस, यहाँ से आप इसको एक्सपेंड भी कर सकते हैं, आप इसको कम भी कर सकते हैं। और स्मार्ट गाइड्स, जिसके पास इलस्ट्रेटर 2018 से ऊपर है, उसके पास स्मार्ट गाइड्स की ऑप्शन होती है। सो यू कैन नो कि आप जब उसकी डायमेंशन चेंज कर रहे हैं तो आपकी डायमेंशंस में क्या चेंजिंग आ रही है। सेकेंडली, अब हमजा क्लिक कीजिएगा सिलेक्शन टूल से नीचे वाला टूल।
the Excel tool.
ये डायरेक्ट सिलेक्शन टूल। अब इसके एंकर पॉइंट चेंज कीजिए हमजा। यस, एंकर पॉइंट पे क्लिक करें।
अच्छा, एंकर पॉइंट
नो,
ये।
नॉट दिस वन। आप जैसे पहले नीचे क्लिक कर रहे थे, आप वहाँ क्लिक करेंगे। हमजा द ब्लू वन।
अच्छा, ये
यस,
एंकर पॉइंट।
इसको क्लिक करें। अब आप इसको यहाँ पर आप कन्वर्ट की ऑप्शन आ रही है आपके अपीयरेंस के नीचे राइट साइड पर, एंकर्स की और कन्वर्ट की। आप यहाँ से इसको कर्व दे सकते हैं। कर्व दें हमजा। यस, यस। आप इसके अगर फॉर आपके जो पॉइंट्स हैं, फॉर एंकर्स हैं, उनको आप अगर कन्वर्ट करेंगे तो ये आपका सर्कल बन जाएगा।
Yeah.
यस, so the direct selection tool is for added the anchor points, so we can change the shape accordingly. So Hamza, now you can continue with your whatever you are doing. Okay, thank you guys.
Basically, I was continuing with the eraser tool. So if you ever want to erase a picture or anything like that, like I can just select it. Yeah. So basically, if you want to erase something, or if you want to erase a picture or something like that, well, वो picture का मसला है, so I can't erase this one. But like if you want to erase something like that, so the eraser tool is for that. So for this session, we'll only be doing the basics. After that, we'll be continuing with the other stuff. Like if you want to go further or anything like that.
Okay, guys, hi. I'm so sorry I couldn't give my introduction before, but my name is Furheen, and I'll be taking over the graphics portion of this, so which means that I'll be handling the Photoshop section. So Hamza basically gave an introduction to Illustrator, and I'll be doing Photoshop. So since illustration and Illustrator works mostly in terms of vectors, what Photoshop does is it works mostly on raster graphics. So I'll give you an introduction for that. Hold on. Okay, so this is the main window for Photoshop, and you can see it's similar to Illustrator, but not quite. It's actually really different. Um, there's the basic toolbar right here. You can also expand it yahan se, and it'll be a double toolbar. It's basically for your convenience. The good thing about Photoshop is that you can switch around things however you want to. You can, put this anywhere you want and to your convenience, basically. So the basics are there, like there are different panels here where you can do your work. So yeah, this is just the basic layout for Photoshop. When you want to create a new file, so you saw in Illustrator how you can just take the rectangle tool and just make one out of the blue. It's different for Photoshop because you can't just work on this screen on Photoshop. You have to have um, your work, you have to create your new work और उसके ऊपर आपने काम करना होता है. So when you work in Illustrator, तो illustrations जो होती हैं, they're usually in terms of a vector, वो different shapes के तौर पे होती है. जब आप Photoshop पे काम करते हो तो आप एक area के ऊपर काम करते हो. तो selection wise भी मैं आपको दिखाऊंगी. Also हाँ, ये भी when you create your own, where you create your new project, तो आपके यहाँ पे options होती हैं for the different sizes. अगर आपने फॉर एग्जांपल इंस्टाग्राम पे कुछ पोस्ट करना होता है तो उसकी जो पिक्सल्स की साइज़ होती है विच इज़ रिकमेंडेड, इट्स 1050 by 1050 इन पिक्सल्स. तो यहाँ से आप अपना रेजोल्यूशन चेंज कर सकते हैं, योर डिफरेंट मोड्स, वो सारा बाद में आपको एक्सप्लेन करेंगे. Okay, so I was talking about the working on the area wala part, right? So यहाँ पे you can see there's a selection tool just like there was in Illustrator, but difference ये है कि when you select something on Illustrator, तो you select different shapes and different options होती हैं. But when you select on Photoshop, तो you select an entire area. तो वो इसका main difference होता है. I'll show you, for example. You take the brush tool and you make this shape and this shape. If this was Illustrator, तो आप selection tool से इसको click कर लेते और वो select हो जाता. It's different for Photoshop क्योंकि आप उसमें you use this selection tool. It's called the rectangular marquee tool. You can also right click और उसमें आपकी different options आ जाती हैं of how you want it. You can make it elliptical, which means circular, and there are different ways. So if I select this, for example, तो ये area select हुआ है, and if I go to the selection tool, so this is how I can move it around. Illustrator में होता है you wouldn't have to make a selection first. Illustrator में आप directly select कर देते हो. Photoshop में different होता है. It's usually because pixels का work है, तो वो आपको work करना होता है in terms of the area. So you can deselect by, if you're working on Windows, तो Control D से, but if you are working on Mac like I am, तो वो Command D से हो जाता है. So I'll show you the different tools. So this was the selection tool. This is the marquee tool. ये जो है, this is the lasso tool. So इसमें भी different options हैं. There's polygonal lasso tool and magnetic lasso tool. More details on these tools will be in the later sessions. Right now, we're just giving you guys the basic look of Photoshop and Illustrator. So this is the magic wand tool. Personally, this is one of my favorite tools because इससे बहुत आसान हो जाता है to work on erasing backgrounds or choose like deleting things that you don't want. You know how picture manipulation. Okay, also another important thing. Photoshop is also mainly used for graphic manipulation. I'll show you what I mean by graphic manipulation. So I made this for my school event a year ago, and so what I'm trying to explain is that these are different images that I've manipulated by changing their colors and changing their saturation, adding backgrounds. तो वो 3-4 images को manipulate करके आप एक image बनाते हो. So that's what I mean by manipulation, graphic manipulation. That's mostly done on Photoshop as well. Illustrator में आप create करते हो, इसमें आप ज़्यादा manipulate करते हो. You can create as well, but Illustrator is mostly preferred for that. अच्छा, so when you want to manipulate an image, तो उसकी background अगर आपने erase करनी है, तो you usually use this tool for it. Also, there's another option here. Again, right click करके आप different उसके option select कर सकते हो. उसमें एक quick selection tool होता है. How this works is कि आप उसके ऊपर करते हो तो वो automatically उसी area को select कर लेता है. Again, deselection का भी वही method है, Command D या Control D. So this is the crop tool. इसमें भी आपके different options होते हैं, which we'll get more into as the sessions go on. This is the eyedropper tool. इससे आप color selection करते हो. So for example, अभी तो ये color आया हुआ है, but if it was an image like this one, और मुझे ये color चाहिए, तो ये यहाँ पे आपके color वाले picture में आ जाता है. So उसके बाद this is your spot healing brush tool. इसमें you make like different corrections, like अगर again manipulation में अगर आपकी एक image है उसका आपने background में एक for example वो होता है poles आ जाते हैं या कोई ऐसी चीज़ आ जाती है that you want to erase from the main image, तो वो आप इससे कर सकते हो. This is also very similar to the clone tool, the stamp tool, sorry, और वो भी मैं आपको like mentors will explain in the different sessions. Okay, so this is your brush tool. You have different brushes. There are different sizes to the brushes, different kinds of brushes. तो वो आप यहाँ से choose करते हो. Like this is one of the brushes. यहाँ से you increase the size of the brush in pixels, and इस तरह करके वो आ जाता है. So again, more details on this in the next session. So this is the clone stamp tool. This is also used for अगर आपने एक आपका ये, I'll show you an example. Sorry. Maybe नहीं हो रहा. So this is the history brush tool, the eraser tool. Eraser tool तो सबको ही पता है. You have different options. There's the soft वाली option. अब soft वाले option में ये होता है कि when you erase something, do you see this? It's not erasing उस तरह से like बिल्कुल ही इसके edges साफ नहीं हो रहे, but वो एक soft look आती है. This is mostly done again manipulation में. I think I've done it यहाँ पे, where you want to create sort of a gradient look. यहाँ पे अगर आपको नजर आए होगा. Let me just try to get rid of this part. So usually when you have to create this sort of gradient look, तो आप image को erase करने के लिए आप soft वाला brush use eraser use करते हो, तो उससे एक soft erase हो जाता है. The other one is इस तरह का जिसमें एक you बिल्कुल ही harsh line आ जाती है. So it depends on how you want to erase the whole thing. Acha, this is your gradient tool. This is your blur tool, your sharpen tool, and your smudge tool. Again, these are all different tools that you'll learn more about. This is the pen tool, similar to Illustrator. इसमें भी इसी तरह बनता है. Then this is the text tool. इसमें भी different options आती हैं. And then this is the path selection. Path selection is also similar to Illustrator कि आप एक image का path अगर आपने change करना हो तो आप इससे करते हो. This is the shapes tool. इससे you can create a shape. So for example, this is a rectangle. इसमें you have free transform path. इसमें आप छोटा कर लेते हो, बड़ा कर लेते हो. वही basic changes जो आप करना चाहते हो. अच्छा, so then you have this tool, which is the hand tool, and then this is your color picker option. तो इसमें foreground color होता है, background color होता है. So background color, for example, अगर मैं change करूँ, and if you pick the eraser tool, तो वो erase होकर उसका background ये बन जाता है. And you can also switch it using this button right here. इससे आप switch कर लेते हो background और foreground colors को. अच्छा, so this was the basic toolbar वाली option you have. And then उसके बाद another thing is so zooming in की तरफ से, if you want to zoom into your workspace, अच्छा, as you can see here, यहाँ पे 50% लिखा हुआ है. So when it's 50%, it means कि आप पूरी image नहीं देख रहे, आप सिर्फ आधी image देख रहे हो. If you press Control and the plus sign, या फिर Command and plus sign if you're on Mac, तो वो बड़ा होता जाता है. So this is the actual size of my image. And इससे you can clearly see the lines and everything. अब इसको अगर मैं ज़्यादा zoom in कर लूँगी तो you can tell, you see these pixels, तो ये pixelated हो जाता है. The more you zoom in, the more pixelated it gets. तो इसलिए it's best that you work 100% वाले view में, because then you can really see how your lines are looking and how clear this are. This isn't the same for Illustrator, क्योंकि उसमें जो होता है क्या होता है कि वो different pixels, वो pixelated नहीं हो जाता. Photoshop में, because you're working on an area, तो वो it's mostly pixel based. इसलिए आपको जब आप select भी करते हो, जैसे आपने यहाँ पे selection tool से select किया, तो आप इस एरिया के पिक्सल्स को सिलेक्ट कर रहे हो. सो यहाँ से फिर वो आपको नज़र आ जाता है how much you've zoomed in, और उसी तरह माइनस से भी वो कम हो जाता है. Okay, what else? These are the different swatches, like color swatches. इससे आप, this is just another way to select the color. यहाँ पे you can change the different variations of the color. तो आप color में भी edit डाल सकते हो. Green ज़्यादा करना है आपने, red ज़्यादा करना है. You can edit your color in the way that you want as well. इसी तरह आप यहाँ पे light shade पे जा सकते हो, dark shade. All those changes यहाँ से होती हैं. Okay. Also another thing for color selection is यहाँ पे you can also आप जो when you search on the internet for a specific color, तो color codes होते हैं. This is one of the color codes. तो जैसे आप कलर चेंज करते हो, उसका कलर कोड भी चेंज हो जाता है. तो अक्सर when you work at for a specific company or for someone, तो they have those signature colors that they want to work with. तो वो आपको usually color code दे देते हैं that you have to use. तो वो input it right here, वो आपको color दे देते हैं. So for example, this is for black. और इसको अगर मैं थोड़ा सा चेंज करूँ तो different color आ जाता है. Okay. So this is your layers वाला section. यहाँ पे आपके different layers होते हैं. So अभी हमने एक rectangle बनाया था, तो उसकी एक ये यहाँ पे layer आ गई है. अब what you can do is कि आप layer को select करके उस particular layer को आप edit कर सकते हो. Then you have channels and paths. Again, more details on these things in the later classes. अच्छा, this is the opacity section. इससे आप जो होती है, आप उस image या उस layer की opacity कम कर सकते हो. अभी 100% पे, तो आप उसको कम भी कर सकते हो. And this is another tool. यहाँ पे आपकी history नज़र आ जाती है of what you've done so far, if you want to see कि आपने क्या क्या करना है. This is the text का property section. तो इसमें paragraphs के different styles आ जाते हैं, characters के different changes आ जाती हैं, properties के different sections आ जाती हैं. And then yeah. So this is the basic outlook of what Photoshop is. यहाँ पे आपका file का part आता है where you can open different files, you can create a new file, you can open your recent files जो आपने खोली होंगी यहाँ से. Then also when you save an image, तो जब आप save करते हो तो यहाँ पे different options आती हैं. So where you can choose where you want to save it, or फिर different formats होते हैं. You have JPG, which is the image format. You have PNG, you have PDF as well. So आप different तरीके से आप इनको save कर सकते हो. Here you have image rotation वगैरह. Again, more on this in the later sessions, but we just wanted to give you guys a intro of how all of this works. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, please, can you explain working with layers? Yeah, working with layers we'll explain in our different sessions. So we have more sessions coming up. Just maybe we'll explain everything in more detail. We just wanted to introduce ourselves and also how we're like the basic softwares that we're using to both introduce करना था इसमें. In the next session, we'll get into more details of this, and Hamza will explain how our sessions are going to work. Okay, never mind, I'll do it. So how our sessions are going to work is हम जो हैं different दो softwares के साथ काम करें. The reason we're working with both softwares is because both of them work simultaneously. जब भी आप graphics का काम करते हैं, तो it works simultaneously. तो इसलिए we're going to start with our
The reason we're taking graphics and illustration together is because we thought that since I also if I have to do graphic designing, I use both Illustrator and Photoshop together to edit photos, etc. So basically, you can continue.
Yeah, sorry guys, my laptop died. Acha, so we're starting with our Illustrator sessions and we have different mentors for that. फिर उसके बाद we'll work on our Photoshop sessions. Our main purpose is to show you guys how everything works together, and we'll get into more details of all the tools and everything in those sessions. So if you have any questions about how our sessions will work, please let us know.
And we'll be sending the curriculum. So if you want to learn something else besides that, that isn't in the curriculum, we'll be here. So you can always tell us.
I think we're done with today's session. I hope you guys learned a few of the basics or know what the introduction of the different softwares we're going to work with. We'll give you more details of everything and how everything works, our different curriculum and our different sessions in the future. But for now, I hope this was helpful for you guys. And thank you so much for joining us.